for those of you guys who are just joining us, I want to welcome you to this very special event and conversation that I am going to have today with Emily, who has just finished, she finished it a while ago, but the book just came out, Stress Less, Accomplish More. Oh my gosh.
Look, it's hot off the presses, you guys. My publisher brought me a copy. I opened it and fully cried. It's been 3.5 years in the making, and I'm so proud of it.
I am so proud of you. I remember when I got to read the preview of it when the galley copy came out, and I was just like, oh, I just want to have this conversation with everyone because stress is one of our 4 pillars of health. As you know, we've got nutrition right at the top, sleep right at the top, followed by nutrition, stress, and exercise. And it's a topic that is not discussed often enough. And the fact that you've tackled it and actually given people tools to handle their stress is such a gift. It's such an amazing book. And for those of you guys who don't know, Emily was the founder of the Ziva meditation method, and she's got a fabulous Ziva online course and tons of reference material. And you are the reason that I can meditate, actually. So before I go further, and I want to hear from you guys, would you share with us if stress is something that you're dealing with currently? We'd love to hear. And also, are you a meditator? Have you tried meditation in the past? Do you have a daily practice? I'd love to hear about that, and I'm sure Emily would too. And we are very, very, very interested. And yes,
we're also interesting.
You're interesting, and I was just reading comments. And by the way, I want to just grant myself and all of you permission to be completely flawsome today. You do not have to be perfect. And this is actually this method of being flawsome and allowing ourselves to simply be and flow is one of the reasons why when I learned Emily's method for meditating, I was able to let go of this idea that I had in my head. And let me know if this is any of you, where I felt like I needed to sit like this, close my eyes, clear my mind, and like that was meditation. And I could not clear my mind. I could sit like this, but I could not clear my mind. I would think about my to-do list. I would think about my workout. I would think about 10,000 things. So I think I have so many questions now that I've told you guys a little bit about like why meditation was hard for me and I didn't think I liked it. But Emily, can you speak a little bit to that experience? Is that common? Do a lot of people struggle with meditation?
Yes. Well, I think that it's the number one reason why people don't meditate is that there's like this one dude out there telling everyone that in order to meditate, we have to clear our minds. And we got to find him. We got to teach him how to meditate. Yes, because it would make my job so much easier. Because here's the thing. If you think that the point of meditation is to clear your mind, then this is what your meditation is going to look like. You're going to sit down, close your eyes, and be like, all right, brain, shut up. I sure would like a snack. Yeah, I got that awesome healthy, like coconut spread recipe. Maybe I'll just get up and make that. Oh, but now I'm thinking about snacks. Now I'm thinking about how I'm thinking about snacks. I suck at meditation. I quit. And that
inner dialogue. Yes.
Yep. Well, that's like the beginning and the end of most people's meditation careers. And it makes me sad because then people potentially rob themselves of a lifetime of better performance, a lifetime of feeling great, because they're judging themselves based on misinformation. So the really, really good news here. So if you are one of those people that has felt like I want to meditate, but I can't clear my mind, my thoughts are too busy, listen up. This is super important. The mind thinks involuntarily, just like the heart beats involuntarily. So trying to give your brain a command to shut up is as effective, it's as useful as trying to give your heart a command to stop beating. It does not work. So this is really good news if you've ever felt like a meditation failure. You're not a failure. I promise you can meditate, and I would love to teach you how.
And this is why you are my coach in meditation. And this is, Emily, I did her course. I went through her Ziva online course, and I feel like this is all in the book. It's all covered in the book, like how to sort of like get out of your way. But let's talk a little bit about stress and why meditation is actually so important, because I see a lot of you guys talking about in the comments how stress is just crushing you. And it is just so incredibly debilitating and exhausting. And the whole fight or flight mechanism and cortisol being, there are a cascade of hormones that happens when you get stressed out or you get an event happens, and it's not just the adrenaline surge that is the problem. It's really the longer term effects of cortisol in your system, which are very, very damaging and end up creating the opportunity for more fat storage. Cortisol actually affects your brain. I love this quote you have, that stress makes you stupid. And some of my own research, and it's about, like, it really doesn't, you can't think clearly when you are super stressed. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can attest to that, right? Like, it's hard to make decisions when you're super stressed. So one of the things that I love about your book is that you take us through 3 different stages, which extremely effective. Can you explain what that is?
Sure. So the Ziva technique is this beautiful trifecta. We call it the 3 M's. So we've got mindfulness, we've got meditation, and we've got manifesting. And where this gets a little tricky is that a lot of people are using the terms mindfulness and meditation as synonyms, but they're not actually the same thing. Mindfulness is honestly what most people out there are calling meditation. So most of the free apps out there, most of the YouTube videos, most of the drop-in studios are teaching what I would call mindfulness, which is the art of bringing your awareness into the present moment, which is beautiful and powerful and necessary, especially in this technological age where we're all ingesting so much knowledge in such a short amount of time. So mindfulness is like, my boss yelled at me, I feel kind of stressed, I listen to my 10-minute app, I feel better. Like taking an aspirin when you have a headache. Awesome. Now, what I teach at Ziva is quite different. It's very powerful, and it's all about getting rid of your stress from the past. And to your point, when you quoted that stress makes us stupid, it's not just the stress from today, it's all that stuff we've been accumulating our whole lives. The dog that barked in our face when we were 10, our parents divorced when we were 12, like all that stuff has been stored in our cellular memory, and it's basically wasting our mental and physical cycles. And over time, it really does slow us down. It makes us sick, it makes us sad. And so what we're doing in Ziva is that we're going in and giving the body deep healing rest that's about 5 times deeper than sleep. So it kind of feels like a nap sitting up, which is awesome. And then afterwards, you don't have a sleep hangover, but you've gotten rid of a little bit of that stress from your past. And ultimately, it's that getting rid of the stress in your body that allows you to perform at the top of your game. And that's really what this book is all about. It's meditation for extraordinary performance. Because I believe that we meditate to get good at life, not to get good at meditation, y'all.
That's my favorite quote ever from the book and from you. I quoted you like so many times saying that. I'm like, we don't meditate to get good at meditation. We meditate to get good at life. And I think when I heard that, I was like, yes, this is a practice that actually adds so much value to our lives that it pays dividends. It's like, I was talking the other day, I got food poisoning last week, and I was talking about how I'm going to bounce back fast, guys, because I've been depositing in my health savings account by taking care of my stress, by taking care of my nutrition, by taking care of my exercise. And I'm going to bounce back from this really quickly because I have that health savings account. And I feel like meditation is one of those deposits that you make into your health savings account as well. And it's like, it has this cumulative effect of clearing out old stuff. And it's just been instrumental for me in feeling like I'm really relaxing my mind and just feeling clear. I feel so clear.
Good. Yeah, and I love that idea of like a savings account, because that's what it is every day you're meditating. And sometimes you enjoy the meditation, sometimes you don't. But the point is not how you feel when you're doing the sitting. The point is how you're performing in the rest of your life. Like you might be able to hear in the background, I have a 7-month-old son named Jasper. And so I'm dealing with like a baby and a book launch and a company, and it's pretty intense. Life is full out. And my postpartum was really challenging. So it's not like, oh, I start meditating and all my circumstances change. It's like, no, life still happens, but you're equipping yourself with the ability to be resilient, the ability to adapt to changes, and the ability to make split-second decisions with your intuition instead of out of fear. And that has a beautiful, powerful ripple effect on your life. In addition to all the like, better sleep, better sex, less inflammation, increasing your workouts, like getting more out of your workouts.
It's just phenomenal, like the far-reaching effects that this kind of a practice can have. And it's not that it's not that we don't still get anxious. It's not that we still don't get stressed. We just have better tools for managing our stress. I feel like I have more self-awareness, more mindfulness. I've cultivated more mindfulness because I meditate regularly. And that's a huge piece for me too, because a lot of the times it's that moment when you're in the moment, something's difficult and challenging, and you catch yourself tensing up or getting anxious, and you're like, oh, I can deal with this. Let me take a deep breath. Let me just get right back to it. Like look what happened comically, guys, right before this broadcast. I'm doing a great job with technology, but today I had some challenges, and we started the broadcast a little bit late because I actually didn't put us live. So we were actually thinking we were broadcasting and having this conversation, and we weren't.
We were having a great time, cracking some jokes.
Great time, but you weren't there, so it wasn't as great as it is now because you were here. But if I had just lost my cool and been like, oh, I'm such an idiot, or been like hard on myself, or taken on a bunch of addition, but Emily commented, she's like, hey, your meditation's paying off. You took that right in stride, and you just moved right through it. And I take that as a huge compliment, because I know in the past I may have gotten like really bent out of shape or been really hard on myself or been apologizing a lot for something that, you know, we make mistakes. We're human. Like I said mistake instead of mistakes right there. What was the thing I said earlier? Interesting, right?
Interesting.
Like my verbal apparently not perfect today. And that's so funny to me. And that's why I use the concept of Flossom, and why I think it correlates so beautifully to what you teach, because you're giving us an opportunity to practice, just like yoga or your workout is a practice. It's not something that has to be perfect every time. We want to use the tools to build that mental strength, that heart strength, really, to be able to deal with life. So Anna Batista people are already asking, where do we purchase the book? The link, Coach Donna is on with you guys from Team Betty Rocker, and she's posting the link for you. It's just the bettyrocker.com/stress-less. And the reason we want you to use that link is because Emily has explained on the page exactly how to get the book, and you get all of these incredible bonuses when you use that link. So we want to make sure, what are some of the bonuses that they get, Emily, along with the book?
Yeah, so at the end of a lot of the chapters, I actually made exercises. So eyes open exercises, eyes closed exercises, because the whole first third of the book is like the science behind why stress makes us stupid, and how meditation can help us perform better in the bedroom, in our workouts, reverse our body age, help you make more money, like all the sort of selfish reasons that we come to meditation. So at the end of each of those chapters, I give you an exercise. And it's one thing to read it, but it's another thing to listen to it. A lot of people say, oh, Emily, I love your voice. And I take that as a big compliment, because I think what they're responding to is actually the energy, you know, that's transmitted, which you can do over voice, which you can't necessarily do on the page. So anyway, I made audio exercises to be the companion bonuses to the book, and you get access to those. You also get, and this is pretty awesome, if you pre-order the book before, I just say like ASAP, but before the 23rd, you get days 1, 2, and 3 of the online course that you took. So Ziva Online, you get access to days 1, 2, and 3 of that. It's a 15-day course. You get to get in there and see if you like it.
Yeah, and it's an amazing program, and it really, really helped me. And it also was fun to spend time with you every day. I know a lot of you guys who've done my 30-day challenge, and any of my programs, you like spending time. I like spending time with you too, but I know it's fun because you get to be with your coach, and you get to hear my voice and see me doing the thing I'm talking about. And this is what Emily's doing with you in the course as well. And it's just so powerful. And you guys don't know as much about Emily as I know. So I want to and tell you a little bit about her history and how she became such a powerful teacher. So Emily, I'm going to actually invite you to share just a little more about your story with my tribe, because my Rockstar tribe, because I feel like it's really interesting, your theater background, and how did this actually come about, you becoming a meditation expert?
Yeah, so I used to be on I used to be on Broadway for 10 years, and my last Broadway show was a chorus line, where my job was to show up to the theater and understudy 3 of the lead roles, which means you have absolutely no idea what's going to happen each night, which is, pretty intense. Sometimes I would start the show as one character, halfway through they'd switch me to a different character. So I was living my life in this constant state of fight or flight, lots of adrenaline, lots of cortisol, and that ended up leading to insomnia. So I'd actually love to hear if you guys are dealing with insomnia, if you want to just give us a thumbs up or let us know, because I feel like it's a big problem. Life is very hard when you're tired. I know, because I have a 7-month-old. So anyway, I was living my life in this constant state of anxiety, led to insomnia, could not sleep through the night for 18 months, which made me start going gray. At the tender age of 27, I started getting sick and injured. And so here I am living my dream, doing the thing I had wanted to do since I was a child, and I was miserable. And it was very confusing, because I really thought that once I got on Broadway, my life was going to be sunshine and roses. And I'm sure that people listening, I'm sure you've had this experience where you achieved a goal and you thought you'd be happy on the other side, and then lo and behold, you weren't. And so I just thought, well, it must be my next Broadway show and my next boyfriend and my next Broadway show. And I did that for a decade. And then finally I was like rocking myself in fetal position, having anxiety attacks underneath my dressing room table. And I thought, I have to try something. And so I went along to this meditation course. I liked what I heard. On the first day of the first course, I was meditating. Now, to be very honest, I had no idea what that meant, but I was in a different state of consciousness that I'd ever been in before, and I liked it. And then that night, I slept through the night for the first time in 18 months, and I have every night since, and that was 11 years ago.
So,
and then I stopped getting sick.
Just a quick interjection. I take it you didn't go to a meditation class with that guy we were talking about.
No, that guy did not tell me to clear my mind.
Doesn't know how to teach. Everyone's going to this meditation class where they are like being taught the wrong way to meditate, or like a way that is just unfeasible.
Yeah, like it looks good on Instagram with the erect spine and the fancy fingers and the clearing the mind, but it doesn't actually make you better at life. But for this kind did, like it cured my insomnia on the first day. And then I didn't get sick for 8.5 years. I stopped going gray. I'm going to be 40 next month and I have 1 gray hair, which is exciting.
Welcome to the 40-year-old crowd.
I'm so excited.
Hey, you're welcome.
Okay, good. I hear it's good. And so basically it up-leveled my life and my performance so dramatically that I thought I have to share this. So I left Broadway, I went to India, and I started what became a 3-year training process to teach this. And since graduating, I have a center here in New York. We created the world's first online meditation training, which is now Ziva Online, which is what you did. Now I've written this book and I've taught over 15,000 people to meditate, which I'm very proud of. Mm-hmm. And one thing to highlight is that this is not like a free app. It's not like you have to keep listening to my voice. What I do is that I train you to be self-sufficient so that you can meditate on your own, anywhere, anytime, on a plane with your kids in the next room yelling, in your open floor office plan, in your car, not driving. So it's not like you have to keep, listening to me. It's like, I'm going to give you the keys to the car and the driving instructions so that you have this practice to take with you for life.
And I can attest that is what I do now. I feel completely self-sufficient, and I have been for the last year. I mean, we've known each other now for a couple of years. You've stayed in my home. We've made pancakes together. I mean, my dogs love you. I adore you. Your husband, I mean, you are just like as real as it gets. So authentic, genuine, and what you teach people really works. So all of you guys, you are like my family. That is why I want to share this with you, because this has really helped me. I'm someone who struggled with a lot of anxiety. In the past, I was diagnosed with anxiety, depression. I had a lot of trouble dealing with past traumatic events. And as you know, I delved deeply into my own personal growth and did a lot of therapy for that, and things that have really helped me. And this is one of the things that has really helped me. And over the past 2 years, I have openly talked about all of these things in my posts. I've shared Ziva, I've shared Emily. So some of you guys may already know her name because she's been instrumental in helping me build tools to help me just day to day feel amazing. And just all of this is cumulative, right? There's no one magic pill. We know this. Emily and I know this. This is just one important piece. And you've all heard about meditation. It's a buzzword. It gets thrown around by a lot of people. And then there's also a lot of misconceptions, which I feel like Emily really debunks and helps you just get right to the core of what's the most valuable about it in her book and in her teaching. So that's why I wanted you to be here today. And I wanted to talk about this. And I actually didn't meditate today yet. And I'm actually like, this is like right now in my house, this is the one area of my house that looks like a house. The rest of it is in boxes because I'm going through one of life's most stressful events that there is, guys, which is moving. There are a lot of really stressful events in life, losing a loved one, going through a breakup, getting ill, all these things. Moving's one of them. But I actually feel more resilient as a result. But all that aside, I was wondering, Emily, if you would help us and help me very selfishly. I'm asking, will you take us through a little mindfulness and meditation activity?
Yes, I would love to. So a couple of things to hold in your heart and hold in your mind while we do this. And that is that thoughts are not the enemy of meditation. effort is. So for those of you who have practiced other types of meditation, I invite you to take everything you've ever heard and throw it out the window. And let's go into this with beginner's mind. Let's not try and focus. Let's not try and concentrate. Let's not try to be perfect meditators. We're going to be flossom meditators. We're going to be sloppy and sleepy and lazy. And you might even find that your head bobbles a little bit. You might feel like you're going into sleep, or your mind might be racing, and that's all okay. What I invite you to do is check in, see how you're feeling right now. Just, anxiety, stress, tension, jaw, neck, how you doing right now? And then we're going to check in afterwards and just see if there's a shift, because always we're looking at how am I feeling and performing in life, not how much am I enjoying the meditation. Now, the other thing is that I'm going to walk you through a mindfulness exercise, a very short meditation, and then we'll do a moment of manifesting, which is really just consciously creating a life you love. Exciting. Is there anything else I want to say to you before we dive in?
Just
I think that's it.
It's the perfect blend of science and soul, Emily. Science and
Oh,
soul Sunday.
Science and Soul Sunday. I love that very much. Thank you. Okay, so actually I would like for us to start with something called the balancing breath. And you guys, this is not in the book and it's not in Ziva Online. This is an exclusive for you guys right here, right now. So take your thumb and your ring finger. If that's uncomfortable, you can use your pinky. But just start with your thumb and put your thumb on your right nostril. Yep, and now exhale through your left nostril. Good. Inhale through your left. And then close your left nostril with your ring finger and exhale through the right. It looks kind of silly, but we'll be silly looking together. Inhale through the right. When you get to the top of the inhale, take one more sip of air, floating there for just a moment, and then switching sides, closing the right nostril with your thumb and exhaling through the left. Really good. Inhaling through the left. Biggest inhale you've taken all day. When you get to the top of the inhale, one more sip of air, floating there, noticing that space between, and then switching sides, letting that breath fall out of the right side. Really good. You can close your eyes if you haven't already. And then letting that air just fall into the lungs, filling your belly, your lungs, your heart. When you get to the top, one more sip of air, and then switching sides and just letting all the breath fall out of the body, letting everything soften, letting everything surrender. And on this next inhale, I invite you to imagine the breath coming in through the base of the spine. And as you fill your lungs, imagining this breath and energy traveling all the way up the spine, and then switching sides and sending that breath and energy right out through the middle of your forehead. So you're engaging your imagination here and creating a cycle of energy. As we inhale, waking up that creative energy that lives in the base of our spine, and as we fill our lungs, letting that travel all the way up the spine, and then switching sides, sending that creative energy right out through the middle of your forehead, into your life, into everything you want to create. Really good. And when you come to the bottom of the exhale, you can keep your eyes closed, but drop your hands into your lap. Now we'll move into a short but powerful mindfulness exercise I like to call Come to Your Senses. So we'll begin by hearing all the sounds we can detect. The sound of my voice. Perhaps there's an air conditioner or a heater on around you. And this is a beautiful opportunity to not judge the sounds as good or bad. We're going to let go of the idea of distractions. Meditation is not intended to make us deaf. Our eardrums will still work fine. We might even have spidey senses. So asking, what's the most prevalent sound I can detect? And now noticing the most subtle. Really good. And now, ever so gently bringing your awareness to your sense of sight, even with the eyes closed. I invite you to see what you're seeing. The prevalence of the blackness, or perhaps the subtlety of the light streaming through your eyelids. And now ever so gently bringing your awareness to your sense of touch. So noticing the prevalence of your bum in the chair. And the subtlety of the air moving across your skin or your clothes against your skin. Taking this opportunity to bring our awareness inward, to let the body soften, to let the mind soften. Now bringing your awareness to your sense of taste. You taste your Sunday morning coffee, or perhaps it's the absence of taste. And finally, smell what you're smelling. What's the most prevalent and the most subtle smell happening for you right now? It's through our five senses that we wake up our intuition. And the present moment is the future in the making. So in this exercise, we're waking up our five senses to bring ourselves firmly into our bodies and into the right now, which is always where our bliss and our fulfillment live, right here, right now. Really good. And now from this space of acceptance, from including all the sounds happening around you inside of this experience, I invite you to lean back, ideally with your back supported, your head free. And I'll give you a word that you can use almost like an anchor. There's a whisper of an echo happening in the background of the mind. And this will be your anchor that you can come back to. So if you notice that you're off on a mental field trip, that's totally fine. When you notice that you're off, you'll just gently come back to the word one. One. So hearing this word like a whisper of an echo ever so gently, and you don't have to worry about how fast or how slow. You don't have to concentrate or control the mind or block out sounds or noise, just hearing the word one. One. Letting it be simple and natural. We'll be here for a few minutes, don't mind the time. Knowing that thoughts and noise are not a barrier to meditation. Trusting the power of this anchor and gently coming back to it whenever you realize that it's slipped away. You're doing great. Let's keep the eyes closed so we can let go of the word inside. We're cutting the cord to an anchor. And before we move into the third M of the Ziva technique, the manifesting, I invite you to take a moment of gratitude. It's always nice to close a silent practice with gratitude. So asking the question, what's 3 things that I'm most grateful for right now? What are 3 things that I'd love to give thanks in this moment? Sound of your kids in the next room, the fact that you have food to eat, a place to sleep. Technology like this that allows us to connect with each other. Really good. Now from this space of groundedness and gratitude, I invite you to think of one dream that you would love to bring into the manifest. One dream that you would love to make a reality. And it doesn't matter how big or how small, probably the first thing that popped into your mind is a great one to play with for today. And now I invite you to imagine this dream as if it is your current reality. Like you're a little kid playing pretend, waking up your imagination and just submerging yourself in this dream, letting it unfold all around you. So you're walking on the stage, you're signing the contract, you're getting the keys to the house. Whatever the dream is, just play the movie in your mind. Noticing where you are, who's with you. What does it look like? What does it sound like? And most importantly, what does it feel like? The moment that this dream comes true for you, what does that feel like in your heart, in your belly? You feel proud? You feel grateful, generous? And taking a big, delicious inhale and allow this feeling to permeate every single cell in your body. And as you exhale, let go of anything that is not serving this dream. Any self-doubt, any old anxiety. And again, inhaling, breathing in the joy of this dream. And exhaling, letting go of any limiting beliefs, any stress, any trying to control the when or the how this dream shows up. Knowing that this or something better is already on the way to you, or you wouldn't even want it. So with that level of trust, with that level of surrender, I invite you to give yourself a big high five for joining us in this live stream. I invite you to give yourself a big high five for taking time to invest in yourself, for perhaps bravely sitting in some uncomfortability, for sitting in silence for perhaps the first time ever. Give yourself a big high five. And again, taking a big, delicious inhale, but this time smile while you do it. And breathe that smile into your whole body. And then exhale, letting go, starting to move your hands, your feet, and in your own time, whenever you're ready, you can start to slowly, gently open the eyes. We did it!
Thank you so much. I feel so rebalanced and just amazing. And I love the come to your senses activity. Would you guys like to share some of what you experienced during that activity in the chat? We'd love to hear. Really, really grateful for Emily sharing, for you for sharing that, Emily, and for all of you for being here to experience that too. Just So amazing. I was thinking, I've done the nostril breathing activity with you before in person only. And I know that's something that you've taught to some very high profile people and companies, like Google, and you've gone into some pretty amazing places. You are well known for this kind of stuff. And it's science and soul, baby. I mean, seriously. So, and you know what, it was so beautiful to me. One of the things, the mindfulness piece, you guys, what I really want to just reflect on was creating a container, a space that was embracing of all of the things that were going on around us. When Jasper was crying, Jasper's Emily's little tiny beautiful baby. When I heard the moving packing boxes being going, and when there was some bing bong sound in the broadcast randomly while we were recording, I heard it on my end. It was so great because instead of like making me like anxious, it was got to be a part of the space that we had already created with our mindfulness. And that is such a wonderful metaphor for life. I mean, when we're not trying to control everything, when we can allow space for things to be and allow ourselves to be present, we can respond, we can choose, we're free to be in the moment. And I just thought that was just so lovely, the way that you frame all of that. You've created such a wonderful framework for success and just a higher level of human experience. And I thank you for that.
I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And thanks for highlighting that, because I do think that the sound piece is a big barrier for a lot of folks. They're like, well, my house is too crazy. My kids are yelling. I can't do it at work because there's phones ringing. But here's the really good news, you guys. Noise is no barrier to meditation. Once you have some training, once you read this book or take the online class, like once you have a tool that is designed for you and not a monk, which a lot of the stuff out there is originally designed for monks, but not this one. I ain't no monk. Once you have a tool that's made for you and some training in it, then you see that noise is no barrier to meditation. And really, truly, you can drop in and do this anywhere. I've done it in Times Square, on a subway, at a Tony Robbins concert. Like, I've done this thing.
I dropped in. This is like the whole stop, drop, and Betty Rock. Like, you can make time to exercise. You can make space to meditate. This is like getting out of the obstacles that we put, these perceived obstacles that we create for ourselves. You've created a solution. Sorry, I interrupted you. I'm just like, I just get so excited about this.
Yeah, I love it.
Everything is possible for you. And we think that, oh, I'll be like more successful when I have more time. I'll be able to be fit when I have this thing like dialed in, when my kids are grown up, and then when is it ever time for you? And you're the one that needs to be first, always. When you don't have the ability to take care of yourself, or when you're not taking care of yourself, everyone around you suffers. You need to be first. And this is a practice that allows you to, do something for yourself. It's a high value practice, self-value.
I actually would love to talk about that, because I feel like that's another big barrier for folks, is they feel selfish. It feels like, oh, the meditation is a waste of time. I don't have time for that. My kids need me. My parents need me. My job needs me. But here's the thing. Your loved ones don't want you sick, sad, and stressed. They really don't. And if you're not taking care of yourself, not exercising, eating well, meditating, then really we inadvertently deliver stress to our jobs, stress to our families. But if you stop and fill yourself up from the very source, then you have more to give. You're happier, you're more creative, you're more present with your coworkers, with your kids. And I can now speak to that from firsthand experience. It's like, I could be a nut job right now with everything I have going on in my life, but I feel really present and happy through this process. So there's never going to be a magical time in your life where you have copious amounts of extra time. The question is, do you prioritize your own mental health or not? Do you prioritize your own physical wellness or not? And the cool thing is that when you take care of this, everything else gets better. You can't pour from an empty cup.
100%, maybe like 1,000,000%.
Yes.
And in this like busy culture and this busy time in life that we all find ourselves in, we need tools like this to expand our capacity. And this is what this tool does. I see so many people commenting right now in the live stream.
Really?
I'm very emotional. And that is it's a very natural response. I remember the very first time that I had an experience of meditation. It was in a yoga class. Mm-hmm. And I was also very emotional. And different times when I meditate, I get tears in my eyes. And that is so natural.
All right, I'm just plugging in my computer. I'm being flossing right now. I'm plugging in. I don't want to die on you, because I really want to I want my light was better over there, but now, but not being
You're epic in
that?
any light, Emily.
So this emotional piece, I do want to talk about that because it's very normal for some tears to come up and out, some sadness. And this can feel at first maybe like we're failing or that I'm doing something wrong. But you guys, please know that this is very natural. It's actually part of, remember when I said mindfulness is very good at dealing with your stress in the now, but it's kind of like taking an aspirin. It's not necessarily going to change your life. The reason why Ziva changes your life so quickly, the reason why I say it's so powerful is that it's getting rid of the stress from your past. And that can happen. We were only doing that, the silent part, for 3 minutes, you guys. And so even that is enough to start to kick up some stress and perhaps some old sadness that we haven't given ourselves space or time to feel. And so my very strong encouragement would be to just feel it. If you're sad, please cry. If you're tired, take a nap. If you're angry, punch the pillow. Like, we got to move this stuff up and out. And then you feel so much better on the other side. But if you spend your whole life trying to shove it down and not feel, then it starts to manifest itself in other ways.
Yeah, and I want to commend all of you here who were brave and said that you had those emotions. Like, that those of you that experienced that and said that, thank you for being so courageous and sharing that. And I think one of my favorite things that you said about the come to your senses exercise was how our senses are a gateway to our intuition, and our intuition is our true power. And we are so incredibly wired, our emotion is wired into, there's this axis, there's all of these different centers in our body, everything from your every system in your body is connected to your emotional center. And and it all affects your health in a myriad of ways. And that's why it's so important to come to your senses, to tune into your intuition, to really get yourself into this state of positive feeling and just be present. It affects everything to do with your health and your experience. So it's so powerful.
Sometimes when folks will say to me, like, I don't have time to meditate, I say, okay, do you have time to be sick, sad, and stressed? Because this is your brain that we're talking about. It's responsible for printing every single cell in your body. It's responsible for making every single decision in your life. And so if we're not taking care of it, my husband likes to say, if you're not managing your stress is managing you.
Exactly. And Tara, thank you for your comment. She said she cried, she smiled. I felt so much peace. I haven't felt this way in forever. My anxiety feels almost gone for the first time, and I don't know how long. And those are the kind of things that are very natural from doing Emily's practice, because she sets it up so perfectly. It's not just the meditation. I love how you did the book with like the 3 pieces, and what the preview you just gave us with the mindfulness, the meditation piece, and then the manifestation piece. Because what do we do with this amazing energy that we've just created? We need to actually have an intention for what we want to create in the world. And it's so powerful. And it just amazing. Thank you so much for your awesome comments, guys, and for sharing this. Katie Hayden, that's awesome. You have a mindfulness professional development for work. That's awesome. I love that these things are becoming more commonly talked about. So
Katie does have that at work.
You said
already?
That they have a mindfulness professional development for work.
Amazing.
Yeah, that is so great. And Maria was agreeing with us, saying that we need ourselves to be able to be there for others. She was agreeing. And Angel Hill said that she's never meditated before, but she felt lighter. If that makes sense, of course it makes sense. Angel, absolutely, you're clearing out your cells. And you said you're going to watch this over again to get in the habit. And absolutely. And this recording will be posted in our new post all about stress on thebettyrocker.com. And of course, I'll leave it here on Facebook for you guys, and I'll tag Emily and all of her resources in the post. And I know Coach Donna is here helping to answer your questions as well. And we really encourage you, the Betty Rocker team, we all use the Ziva method. Everyone on the team has read Emily's book, and all of the girls will tell you when they're answering your questions that this is just an amazing tool, an amazing resource. And we will continue to answer your questions on the page if you have them. And I just want to thank you again, Emily, for giving us this time and on your day off, and giving us the opportunity to connect with you in this really powerful way.
It's really an honor. It's an honor I don't take lightly. And one thing I just love to highlight is that you guys,
Yeah.
we just did a global group meditation. Like, I don't know how many people are on this, but I like to think about all of us just connecting to each other, like as if we're just wrapping around the planet with some love. And so what a gift that is to experience on a Sunday.
It's such a gift, and it was and this will be watched over and over and over and over so many times, and I feel like doesn't really matter to me who was here today, like in a greater sense of like how many. Everyone who was here today was who was supposed to be here today, and the future yous who are watching this right now, who are like in the future from when this was recorded, welcome and thank you for being here too, because there's this like universal time space like continuum of all of
Yes.
us like being a part of this, and we appreciate you in your presence no matter when it is. So
And that's a cool thing about meditation. It's like if you're changing your state of mind, you change your perception of time. And a lot of people report that when they commit to their daily Ziva technique, they actually feel like they have more time in their day because they're able to get more done in less time, which is kind of the whole point of the book. It's like stress less so that you can accomplish more, right?
Yeah.
So that you can accomplish what you were put on this planet to accomplish.
Yes, exactly. I have a question from Elise Palmer. She says, how do you forget about things that don't matter?
Oh, well, I think that in meditation doesn't make you forget about things, but it does really help you to prioritize. It's like if you're prioritizing yourself, making yourself number one, then everything else just kind of falls elegantly into place. So it's not about forgetting. It's just like if you're filling your day with self-care and creativity, then the maintenance and the destruction kind of falls away.
Yeah, and Elise, I mean, I could do a parallel analogy of that with like junk food. Like, how do I stop eating junk food? Well, don't worry about stop eating junk food. Just start replacing the junk food with healthier, more wholesome things for your body to nourish you. Just like this is a practice that nourishes your mind, and it sort of like clears out clutter naturally. It creates more space for things that you want in there, and gets rid of things that maybe aren't serving you. And it's another reason why I really like need to do it every day. And even if it's 5 minutes, that's all I sometimes do, but I don't miss a day. And it's just such an important part of my practice. Emily, I wanted to ask you this because I don't want to, and if you're just starting out, if this is the first time you meditated, take it slow. Do it, try to do it again tomorrow. Do it, get the book, try what Emily teaches, learn the technique. But if in an ideal scenario, would you recommend meditating daily?
I do recommend meditating daily. And the cool thing about the book and Ziva Online is that we build you up slowly. We start with 5 minutes, and then we go to 7 minutes, and then we go to 10. And then ultimately you graduate with a practice that's 15 minutes twice a day. And I know that sounds like an exorbitant amount of time, but really, truly, it can make your sleep more efficient. It can make your workouts more beneficial. It can help your cognitive function. It actually can increase this gray matter and reverse your body age by up to 8 years. It can improve your immune system. And so all that time that we've been wasting being sick and slow and sad, it's like that stuff starts to go away. So you feel like you have more time in your day. So I recommend, yes, for sure, every day. Just like the coffee you drank last week isn't going to give you energy today. You have to drink coffee every day. Well, same thing with meditation. We got to do it every day. And the cool thing, the reason why I say twice is that once a day is going to deal with all your stress in the now. But what's ultimately improving our performance and ushering us into like better states of being is the twice a day. That's the thing that's getting rid of all that stress from the past.
And you can stay a beginner for as long as you need to. I'm still a beginner with this practice when I'm just dealing with life. And I mean, I have a commitment to a daily practice, and it isn't always 15 minutes long. It isn't always twice a day. And I don't judge myself for that. I just make sure I show up and meditate every day. And that's like the grace I want you to give yourself, because so many of us are beginners. But you don't get to be wherever the future you will be by not starting somewhere. So I don't want anything to stop you from trying. I just wanted you to know what's possible and why it's important and what the benefits are. So that's why I asked the question. So thank you for answering that. All right, I want to let you get back to your baby. I could hear him, and he needs his mom. So we're going to let you go. And I can hear my babies are down in the office right now barking their little butts off.
I can't hear them. They're so funny. I don't know how you got 2 comedians for dogs, but whoa, they're hilarious.
Are such comedians. I do have, it looks like we have one last question from one of my regular life members, because she's asked this twice and she really wants to know, how does she get her son started with meditating, or does it have to be his choice? And I think that is such a good question that I would think other people might wonder. So how do you get
Yes.
other people in your life to meditate? Emily, please answer
So
that.
I get this question a lot. How do I get my kids to meditate? And honestly, the best thing you can do for your kids' stress and anxiety is you meditate. You clean your own house. Because if they see you doing it, and if your anxiety and stress levels decrease, that's going to do worlds for them. And then if you're,
I'm sorry, I'm just going to talk to Jacqueline for a second. In Rock Your Life, you are we talk about this a lot. You are a role model to your family because you take the time to exercise, and you're exercising at home in front of other people. They see you doing it. You are setting the example by your actions, and this has a profound effect. Sorry, Emily.
No, it's okay. And just like they see you taking responsibility for your physical health, when your kids see you taking responsibility for your own mental health, it alleviates their stress, because kids are narcissists and they think that everything is about them. They take everything personally. And so if you're in a bad mood, there's a piece of your kid that thinks it's their fault. If you're sad, they think it's because of something they did. And so if they see you meditating and then feeling better, if you're in a bad mood, they say, well, mommy didn't meditate today. That's not my fault. It's like they alleviate their own responsibility. And that's a huge benefit and byproduct. And actually, kids will start to keep you accountable. They'll be like, mommy, did you meditate today? You're kind of angry.
Same thing happens in my community. They're like, the kids, I'll get screenshots and kids will be like, oh, mommy, you didn't do her Betty Rocker workout today. And these are the pieces, the life pieces that really make a difference. And they have such a huge ripple effect on all the people around you. And Emily just is, God, it's just nailing it. We speak the same language about two very important pieces of life that help us thrive and live longer and live healthier with more joy, which is, what this human experience is all about. So yay.
That's right. That is right. And the other thing, I know we're going to wrap up, but I just find that the exercise and meditation are so beautifully complementary. The Betty Rocker workouts and meditation, I can speak from firsthand experience because I've done your workouts and I love them. And it got me through my pregnancy. I felt so strong through my pregnancy. But it's like, I find that, to your point, when you started and you said the adrenaline that happens when we get stressed is one thing, but then that low grade cortisol that sticks around in our body over time, it makes your body inflamed. Those chemicals are acidic and they lead to inflammation. And that keeps us puffy and inflamed, and it can lead to all different types of ailments.
Storage, and it affects our thinking ability. Cortisol is a natural hormone that has a natural cycle that follows your circadian rhythm, but when it gets out of balance, or when you're chronically stressed and it's chronically elevated, it has all of these cascading effects that Emily's talking about, and all this inflammation in your system. And we need tools to address this, because you can't see the cortisol in your system. You don't know that that's happening, but it's happening. Right. It's like,
and I just think you can work out so much harder and not get the same amount of benefit if you're stressed.
If you're stressed.
But if you take care of that stress, it's like you can do the same workout and get so much more benefit out of it and see the results so much more quickly, not only in your body, but also in your life.
Yes. So there's just symbiotic relationship, because all of your body systems work together. Like, we don't want to do a glute workout without activating our glutes. Emily's saying we want to prime the body for the best effect, like in our workout, in with all the choices that we make to nourish ourselves, by creating an environment in the body for receptivity to those things, by clearing ourselves out. And meditation very much does that. And this mindfulness piece very much preps you and does that. And it will allow you to be more present, more joyful, get more out of your workouts, get more out of pretty much everything. Thank you for adding that piece. I put it in the new blog post that we're featuring you and your awesome information in, but I didn't mention it because,
There's so much other stuff to cover.
There's so much awesome stuff to talk about with you always, and it's always so fun to see you. So, gosh, thank you again so much. Is there anything else that I didn't cover that you want to touch on?
Just that if people are a little on the fence, like, I don't know if I want to get the book, I don't know if I want to do the online course, that there is a free audio. It's like a companion audio that goes with the book called the Stress Less Guided Visualization. And it's kind of like a body melting visualization and then a pep talk at the end.
Coach Donna just posted a link to that, actually.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and thank you for mentioning that. It's a free gift from Emily for you guys. So thank you.
And I just am so grateful for you introducing me to this amazing group of rock stars. And I'm so grateful for the work that you do in the world. And I'm really looking forward to you guys hearing what you think about the book once you get it. It's only like a few days away. It's going to be in our hands.
So exciting. I know. I can't wait to have my own. Like I have the galley copy, but I can't wait to have my own physical copy.
It's more fun in hardback.
Bringing it with you. I'm bringing it with me to the next time I see you because I want you to write in it.
I'll write you a whole poem.
I want a picture. I want you to draw a picture.
A cartoon of me and you.
A cartoon of me and you. Yes, that's what I want. I was like looking at all these cute pictures of us together and I was like, oh my gosh, we had such a good time.
Yeah, I feel so grateful to have you as a friend.
Ditto. And we are so grateful for you guys and my amazing Fit Fam. And thank you for welcoming Emily with so much love and support. And she is here for you. So connect with her, use her resources and get her book. It is amazing. And I'm excited for you to have this knowledge. Knowledge is so empowering and what you do with it is powerful. So get the book and check out Emily, connect with her online and connect with Ziva. And we will leave you with that for today. So thanks again for being here and we will see you soon.
Bye, friends.
Bye.